Welcome. I'm Gene Albert, a principal of Lexbe, and I'm happy to introduce you today to our webinar, which is Best Practice Litigation Document Management, and it will be discussing applying the latest Lexbe eDiscovery platform features and functionality for fast and collaborative reviews and productions. And our webinar today is going to be presented by Stu Van Dusen, who's the marketing manager here at Lexbe. Let me say a little bit about our webinars. Generally, we have our eDiscovery webinar series. It takes place monthly, and it covers a variety of technology-related topics having to do with eDiscovery and electronic document management. And the presentations are available for download, PDFs of the PowerPoints, and also the recorded webinar for registrants. So you're welcome to sign up for that at our site. Let me say a little bit about Lexbe. We're a software and service company based in Austin, Texas. We have Lexbe eDiscovery platform, and that's a hosted processing and review tool, and that allows users to load a variety of file types, process for review, OCR, conduct reviews, productions, prepare privilege logs, analyze transcripts, do case analytics, and prepare for depositions, dispositive motions, and trial. We also offer Lexbe eDiscovery services, which is a variety of large document services for culling, processing, converting email to PDF or TIFF, preparing productions, load files, OCR, Rule 26 and project management consulting, and related matters. As the webinar goes on, if you have any technical issues, questions, please email us at webinars@lexbe.com, and we will address them. And you can also address there any questions you'd like to have for Stu during the webinar, and we will give them to him to address. Also in the future, if you're signed up for one, you can do that ahead of time. Let me introduce Stu. Stu's the marketing manager here at Lexbe, and he has a BS in Management and Finance from Trinity University in San Antonio, and a master's in Business of Technology Commercialization from McCombs Business School at the University of Texas in Austin. So with that, I will turn things over to Stu.
Thank you, Gene. Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to go over how you can use the most recent innovations and eDiscovery features of litigation document management and review systems help you quickly and easily power through reviews and productions. To do this, we're going to first identify 7 distinct stages of litigation document management. Then we'll move through each stage in more detail, discussing the general goals that litigation professionals have at each stage, and the features, functionality, and best practices that are going to help accomplish those goals quickly, securely, and cost-effectively. So all of the screenshots that you see today are going to come from our system, Lexbe eDiscovery platform, and show specific Lexbe features and functionality. So before we review those 7 stages of the litigation document lifecycle, let's briefly take a look at why litigation document management systems are increasingly important. Each year we see not only a massive increase in the amount of data being created, but an increase in the rate at which data volumes are increasing. So litigation data collections are absolutely following this trend, which implies that the number of documents requiring discovery review is getting exponentially larger. So because of this, review costs are exploding. Clients are annoyed and something has got to give. What litigation document management systems like ours aim to do is use technology to make the review process not only more cost efficient as these data volumes rise, but even more effective at helping you organize, find, and use critical evidence, coming in an increasingly wide array of formats to advance your case. So this 7-stage model of litigation document management starts with planning and collection and moves through to trial and appeal, left to right. Planning and collection refers to the process of creating and implementing a discovery collection methodology. Moving through the model after document sources have been identified and data loads of electronically stored information, or ESI as it's often referred, are collected from their respective custodians. Early case analysis can provide insight into whether a data call may be necessary and what kind of criteria should be applied in executing that call. When the cull has removed definitely irrelevant documents, we now have a more pertinent set of documents to process into reviewable formats. And after the documents in a collection have been reviewed, they are ready to be produced to opposing counsel, productions received and loaded from them. And then critical documents can be further reviewed, annotated, prepared for depositions and motion practice leading up to trial. As we move from planning and collection through to trial, the overall goal is to decrease the volume of documents that need to be actively managed while increasing the understood relevance to the case of the remaining documents. While this process is probably not going to be completely linear, for example, you might need to apply various levels of processing to receive production, review those documents, etc. This is the general flow of documents and data through the litigation lifecycle. So the goals of the planning and collection stage are relatively straightforward, but critically important to the case. Primarily, ESI sources, repositories, and custodians need to be identified. Very important information to establish early on with respect to accomplishing what you need to in a Rule 26F conference. Then the electronically stored information needs to be actually collected, and quality control procedures need to be applied to determine if that collection has been effectively carried out. To accomplish these goals, litigation document management system should have robust case research tools that support the identification, the tracking of ESI repositories and custodians. Identifying and managing these fields early in the case will allow you to seamlessly flow later into discovery stages without having to re-identify any of those relationships between particular documents in ESI and its source or its custodian. As shown here, within Lexbe eDiscovery platform, there is a complete case research module that allows you to identify these issues early in a case, help develop your collection strategies. There's also case participant logs to identify collection targets, note their relevance to the case. And on top of that, a case calendar and case notes features contribute additional dimensions to support discovery planning and collection. You can use these features in Lexbe eDiscovery platform to identify custodians as early as possible and map ESI sources to help prevent data holes going back to planning an additional collection and help support your position during a Rule 26 conference. So next is culling and early case analysis, and the main goal here with culling and early case analysis is to quickly, inexpensively, and defensively reduce ESI down to potentially relevant documents and give data-based insights into the potential costs associated with your case. So to accomplish this, document management systems need to be able to track the criteria by which you may decide to cull, and that might be date, custodian, metadata, certain keywords, and display that data in some meaningful way, and then give you the ability to remove those documents from the case. So culling out irrelevant documents and leaving only the potentially relevant documents not only will reduce the cost of processing later down the line, but will also reduce the cost of hosting a review, and that'll just be fewer irrelevant documents for the review team to be moving through. So a more efficient review procedure. So Lexbe features in extensive culling abilities and early case analysis functionality, including duplicate document identification. Shown here on this slide is one of the many built-in early case analysis graphs. And you can also create an unlimited number of custom reports and custom graphs based on even user-created coding fields that can help inform the development of culling criteria. This data can even be automatically exported to an Excel spreadsheet for further analysis, combination with external case or firm data. And this early case analysis data can also give you insight into whether an additional collection is needed and evidence the completeness of that initial data collection. ESI processing can often be one of the more expensive elements of litigation in a case with a high volume of documents in terms of both time and money. Native processing can still cost several hundred to around $1,000 a gigabyte from some providers. In some systems, you need to send your data to a third-party processing provider, and especially if you're incrementally adding documents to a case as you're able to collect them, that can cause a significant time delay, weeks, between the time when you collect and the time when those documents are ready to be reviewed. So in addition to speed and convenient access to ESI processing, we need to consider quality of that processing as well. The quality of processing will carry forward into review in a couple of ways. The index that gets created during processing, that's what's going to support your ability to search through a collection. So the quality and the completeness of that index will determine whether, among many thousands of documents, you will be able to get complete recall in a critical search term. On top of this, high quality processing and automatically fielding document metadata is going to support the other advanced case assessment functions and technologies and forms of technology assisted review like near duplicate identification further on during review. So in Lexbe eDiscovery platform, there's a built-in in-browser processing tool that allows you to upload and process your own native case documents directly into the case. This processing tool is supported by a very scalable multi-server architecture for speed and convenience. So typically our users are able to load and process 10 gigabytes of native documents a day into their cases using that self-upload feature. It can be as simple as a drag and drop of a few files as well for incremental additions. And that's as easy as dragging and dropping those files into the upload screen, clicking upload and letting that run unattended. When you upload your ESI and your case documents into Lexbe, you also have the ability to identify a doc source, associate that upload with a particular case participant, and manage any time zone offsets on any incoming emails if that's necessary. We also automatically perform, and you're able to toggle that on and off, an OCR, optical character recognition, in addition to extracting the native text of a document to create a dual search index, that is, to support your search queries, which we will talk more about. So in Lexbe eDiscovery platform, we process incoming documents into PDF format, which carries several benefits. PDF files can accurately represent a document originally created in another file format like Microsoft Word or Excel, but not require the original application to view it. So PDFs are easily made searchable, can have usage restrictions and other security elements applied to the document. And PDFs, another benefit of using PDFs as a review format is that they do not undergo the same extreme size expansion, data size expansion that can happen with other review formats between the size of the native collection and the size of the processed hosted collection. So during the review phase, litigation professionals obviously need to be able to search, tag, and move through review sets as quickly as possible and as accurately as possible. You need to be able to identify privileged, attorney eyes only ESI in an increasingly large haystack of documents. Review features can be pretty similar across different litigation document management systems, but we'll take a look at some of the more innovative review functionality that we feature in Lexbe eDiscovery platform. So the search functionality within Lexbe eDiscovery platform is supported by the dual index we discussed earlier with respect to processing. Other review systems create their search index from either a native extraction, so that would be an extraction of the text elements of a native file, or through application of optical character recognition or OCR of an imaged version of the native file. As you can see, either one of these methods on its own will miss certain document contents and not index them. In the case of an imaged or OCR document, will capture the embedded text. That will capture the embedded text, but that will not capture any text excluded from print or any hidden text. And in the case of a native extraction, you will not be able to capture any embedded text. And what embedded text may be is a an image, for example, that's laid into a document, a native extraction would extract any text around the image, but if there was a word that was present within the image, the native extraction is not going to pick that up for search. An OCR, an application of OCR will pick that up. So if your case documents have been indexed from both a native extraction and an OCR application, you'll maximize your ability to find everything in a document collection, maximize recall of any search term. So in addition to comprehensive search results, Lexbe can also return search queries very fast. So queries across hundreds of thousands of documents are returned in just seconds. Lexbe Discovery Platform can help you accomplish the review goal we discussed of managing and maximizing the productivity of a review team through what we call dynamic review sets. So account administrators can add documents and set up review sets based on their own criteria, reviewer criteria. And then a member of a review team can request a review batch. So this small batch approach, it prevents one slower reviewer or a particularly important set of documents that may require more focused review and more time from slowing down overall review team progress by load balancing the remaining work. So additional review set management features allow those managing a document review to more effectively allocate those resources, coordinate those people, and assign expertise to particular document sets where necessary and where applicable. Lexbe Discovery Platform also includes near duplicate identification technology, standard inside Lexbe Discovery Platform. And that will allow you to group together and simultaneously tag or code highly similar documents. And that can be very, very useful and very functional. So once you've calculated the NearDup groupings within your case, you can sort on those groupings. You can use them to identify inconsistently coded documents. As you can see here, the other documents in this grouping, they've been marked privileged. And then we've applied the NearDup groupings here, and we've identified a document that has near duplicate, near identical content as these other documents that have been marked privileged. But for some reason, it hasn't been marked that way. It also hasn't been reviewed. So NearDup grouping, what NearDup groupings does is flags our attention to documents that are inconsistently coded, like this particular one here, and prevents us from inadvertently including this document in a production, and forces us to go back and identify this as privileged, or at least spend extra attention as to identifying why it would be in a NearDup grouping with other privileged documents and not be marked privileged. And so this same near duplicate detection technology allows us to view, if we collect from an Outlook a PST file, and we have all sorts of emails that have come in, near duplicate detection can group those into the conversations or threads as they happened, as you can see here, which improves the workflow through a review, especially through an email conversation. It's much more coherent to be able to move in a chronological way through the conversation. Last, with this NearDup groupings included in the platform, there's also a series of reports that can be created to give you additional data insights about your ESI collection and about your privilege protection as well. So when creating productions, the needs are pretty straightforward. We need to produce fast in our desired format, and with safeguards in place to make sure we've reviewed all the documents being produced, their attachments as well, and to ensure that privileged information is not being produced either. So within Lexbe Discovery Platform, you're able to create and download your own blended productions, including TIFF format. So we include a 4-step validation process. Production creation can run automatically with a notification email sent when the production is ready for you to download. So there's no need for you or your staff to babysit the production process. That will run on its own. So to best prepare for motion practice, depositions, you need to be able to quickly and easily see what the key facts and issues of the case are and rapidly be able to jump into documents that relate to those key facts and issues. So you want to be able to create markup versions of those documents, redacted version perhaps, highlighted and annotated versions to prepare or review deposition text. Robust case management functionality can support any kind of report you need to adequately prepare for motions. So what Lexbe eDiscovery platform can help you visualize these key case facts and issues with timelining functionality that also associates supporting documents with particular timeline facts for easy reference and easy connection back to particular case participants and particular case facts and issues. Lexbe can also allow you to create new facts from highlighted deposition or document text directly within the document viewer. And that will optimize your workflow and eliminate the inefficiency and ineffective process that we see in some systems where you're moving back and forth between browser windows to transcribe document text. So during the trial and appeal process, we need litigation document management systems that will allow you to quickly find and review a case document that is brought up by opposing counsel that hasn't necessarily been a focus or been highlighted or marked as key by our side. So it's also helpful for these systems to have the ability to update fact and issue timelines and other case details as they come up during trial to keep the most up-to-date view of the case management views as possible. So Lexbe eDiscovery platform provides a searchable repository at trial, and that fast search will allow you to pull up a rogue document very quickly, even among a massive collection of documents. And timelines can automatically be updated as that new information received, and all case documents can be stored near line at a reduced cost. So we've moved through the seven case stages from planning and collection all the way through to trial and appeal, and we've gone over sort of the critical elements of litigation document management system, how those systems can help us counteract the effect of growing data volumes, growing data types, an increasing number of custodians in a litigation matter. And just to sort of round those up again, so one of the key elements of Lexbe is the self-administering processing and production features. There's no need for anyone to babysit or sit in and make sure that processing or production functions are occurring. There's no opportunity cost with that time. You can start these processes and be notified upon their completion. And that in-browser native processing, that's unique. That saves a tremendous amount of time, of transaction time between perhaps sending documents to a third-party provider who's then you're on their timeline and you have to wait for them to complete the process and then load the documents. This way, the ability to add documents to the case and get reviewing those documents is within your control. That automatic OCR that's being applied, that's supporting a high quality of search down the line and supporting that dual index. Significant early case analysis functionality and features can give you a visual or just a straight data view of exactly what kind of documents you have in your case, where they came from, when they were created, and when they were collected as well, to support additional action in your case. We spoke about the dual index search, and that's just absolutely key. If you want complete recall on any search query, we need to be dual indexing documents so that both embedded and native extracted data information within those documents can be found. Also critical here is the exact and near duplicate identification. In the case of exact duplication, get irrelevant duplicate documents out of the way, increase the efficiency of your review, decrease the overall cost of hosting these documents. And in the case of near duplicate identification, create a way for you to identify associations between documents that may not be able to be made by a human alone, allowing a computer to create those connections and then taking advantage of that efficiency to massively code and tag documents and prevent the inadvertent delivery of privileged data or information to opposing counsel. We also featured and talked about the comprehensive document review and issue tagging functionality that exists within Lexbe, and the ability to work back and forth between browse screens showing documents and case analysis and case management screens, such as timelines, and associate those facts and issues back with case documents, even within the document viewer. Creating blended productions, also an important point, and moving through motion practice and trial, just ensuring that those different data views, those different case management views, are available. They're able to be updated in real time, so that you can keep the most current view of the case information as it arises. So with that, I'm going to hand things back over to Gene. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time.
Thanks, Stu. That was really informative. I just wanted to close with telling you about some of the other educational resources we have at our site at Lexbe.com. We have a series of 101 pages that give basic information on a variety of eDiscovery and litigation document management topics. We have our eDiscovery webinar series with and then below is a listing of recent webinars, and these are all downloadable if you'd like to take a look at them. We also have a monthly best practices tips newsletter that you're welcome to sign up for as well. So please let us know if we can help with anything. And if you need to contact any of us, information for myself and Stu are up here, along with our sales and general information. So please feel free to give us a call. Thank you. Bye-bye.